Riders, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing our final drive oil change for the BMW GSA between 2014 and 2018, and this is also going to apply up to 2022. Your final drive is going to take 180 mLs of gear oil. Now let's go ahead and get started. So I like to remove my fender. There's going to be 3 T30 Torx bolts over here. Now our filler hole for our final drive is going to be a 6mm bolt, and then our hole over here, how we empty our final drive, that's going to be a T45. So let's go ahead and get started. So let's go ahead and remove our filler. So over here you're going to go ahead and just do it very gently. And this one, you're going to notice that we're going to have a copper washer. So you're going to see this copper washer right here. So let's just go ahead and make sure that you have that there. This motorcycle only has 6,000 and change, so I am not going to worry about, you know, changing the crusher. Now when it's time for me to do the 12,000 mile service, we're not going to go ahead and do it because the final drive is going to be at every 12,000 miles. So by the time it's time for our 18,000 mile service, I will make sure that we have a new washer for our final drive. Now let's use a T45 Torx to go ahead and remove our filler hole. So this one, it's going to be like this. What I'm going to use, I'm going to just use a empty water bottle and go ahead and start spinning here. This one, for some reason, it's always tight. And what I say always, I changed this one time already prior, and I'm going to show you guys. So this one is going to have a rubber ring in between your, there's going to be like a layer of your metal, then you're going to have the O-ring, and then you're going to have your rubber seal gasket here. So let's see. So let's go ahead and do this right here. So as I said, this is going to be 180 mLs, and you're going to see that we have all new, brand new fluid in here. So I wanted to see if the final drive of the BMW was like my old FJR. The FJR 1300, the way you did it was you fill it up, and basically you will fill it up till you see the bottom of the thread of your filler hole screw. Not the case with the BMW GSA. With the BMW GSA, I'm going to show you guys in a video that I'm going to be popping in here. You're basically almost literally able to fill 500 mLs of fluid into your final drive, but that's not going to be the way you want to do it. You want to make sure that you're measuring 180 mLs. Another key note is going to be when you're changing your final drive, you want to make sure that you are warming your engine. So what I did was I went ahead and I ran the motorcycle around the block 3 or 4 times. I got my engine temperature up to 180 degrees. That way we allow our final drive also to go ahead and heat up, and it's going to allow for the most fluid to be able to exit. So this is what I have here. This is going to be a filler bottle that I found on Amazon. I'm going to put a link in the description of this video. And what I do is I went ahead and put it up to 150. Then I use a liquid medicine measuring cup, and I'm measuring an extra 30 mLs for a total of 180. So now that we see that basically all our oil has drained from here, I'm going to go ahead and just give it a good wipe. We want to make sure that we have a nice and clean surface. So now that we have that clean surface, this is going to be our nut that we're going to use. As you're going to be able to see, this is going to have a rubber gasket. So we're going to go ahead and change this at the 18,000 mile service. Right now this is 6,000 miles, so I'm not going to go ahead and worry about it. The only reason I'm doing it is I bought this motorcycle from the original owner, and although it was service, I like to just make sure that I do all my own maintenance, and we have a clean fluids for engine and our final drive. So now that we have it in place, I'm going to go ahead and just put it back in place. So go ahead and move it to the side. Now that we have it there, let's go ahead and use the ratchet to finish tying this up. Whenever you're filling your, whenever you're screwing back a screw into your motorcycle, whether it's going to be the final drive or in this case the final drive, I will never suggest that you use a power tool. I always like to do it by hand, and even when I'm in place like we are right now, those final adjustments I like to do it by hand. That way I make sure that I'm not over tightening, and kind of basically I don't want, the last thing I want to do is ruin any of the threads of my final drive or my bolt. I don't really care too much of the bolt, but if we've messed up the final drive one, that one is going to be the one that you're going to wish you never did. So I like to go ahead and get as close as possible to remove it. I'm going to give it a good hand tight. Right there, I feel like we're good. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use our bottle that we have over here that we have already measured 180, and we're going to go ahead and fill it up. Again, this is something that you can find on Amazon and get it from there. So it's going to take probably a good 10 to 15 good squeezes off the bottle to be able to get all of the fluid in there. But once you have that done and it's been measured appropriately, there's nothing to worry about. So when I was marking my filler bottle, what I did was I measured 150, I added an extra 30 to be exactly 180. Then I went ahead and I emptied the bottle completely doing the squeeze method that I'm showing you guys here. And then what I did was I measured how much was left at the bottom. I found that to be between 5 to 6 mLs. And then what I did was I went ahead, added another 180 back to the bottle to fill it up. And once I did that, I added an extra 5 to 6 mLs of water to be able to measure to where you see the black line on the bottle. That way you have an accurate representation of how much 180 mLs is going to be. Alright, so as you're going to be able to see, there's going to be probably an extra 5 or 6 mLs here at the bottom of the bottle. That basically is what is going to be left over once you're done squeezing it. That's why with this extra marking over here up to 100 and about 85 or 86. So now that we're done, I like to go ahead and just give this a good wipe down just for good measure. That way we have a nice clean surface for our bolt to go back in. So guys, there you have it. This is basically how you complete a final drive oil change on a BMW R1200 or R1250 GSA from the years 2014 all the way up to the year 2023. So guys, if you enjoy this content, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. That way the algorithm knows it's good. Subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys on my next video.